And we're gonna need a towel.
We are back here today. We are continuing after our adventure yesterday of painting this roll cage. And you can see I've already got some work done. I've put the dashboard in. It's all zip tied down. It's pretty sturdy. But we need to find a place to put our switch panel. We're going to use this cubby for it. But unfortunately, the switch panel that I had before does not fit. So what we're going to do is we're going to build some tabs. We're going to go ahead and weld those on. Get it to fit in there nicely. So this is what we're doing. Probably going to look something like that. Just to go on there because I don't feel like fabricating a new piece. I went ahead and tacked this thing up. We're going to see if it fits. Alright, so I had to break the top piece off. Didn't want to fit like that, so we're going to have to go through and do it again. But, I mean, it's not too bad like that. Doesn't look bad. I don't know if you can see where it sits. Those are a little too long. We're gonna go ahead and mark it there. Actually, chop it off. We'll weld the bottom two on, and then we'll adjust the top one as we see fit. We've got it in. We've got it right where I want it in place. It looks pretty good, but we need to figure something out about the top side. So I've drilled a hole. I'm about to tap it. Tap that hole on the top so I can just screw something right in so that I don't have to mess with the roll cage too much. So I'll go ahead and tap that, and we'll move on. So we've got all that in. It all looks really good. We've went ahead and tapped it. It all fits real nice. So we're gonna put a coat of paint on it. You'll see, it's gonna come out really cool, I think. And so the mount is done, painted. Came out pretty neat. Thought I'd do something a little different. So let's go ahead and put it in. So we have it in. Look at how good it looks. We just wired everything up, and well, I don't want to plug the battery in quite yet, so we'll test it out another day, but looks pretty good. We're gonna go ahead and get this seat started. Now we're mocking up the seats because the seat bracket does not fit the rack on that one, but we do have the stock seat down here, so we're gonna pull the hardware off that and see if it'll transfer over, because then bing bang boom, we're done. Let's try that real quick. But I tested the sides of the brackets and the new seat, and unfortunately it's not gonna work. So I'm gonna have to build a new seat bracket in order to get that seat to work, but doesn't mean we can't put it in here and see how good it's gonna look. Oh yeah, looks real good. Now we are going to have to cut this bracket out back here. It's in the way. I don't want it to scratch the leather. So we're gonna get rid of that, chop it off, grind it down, paint it again. But we didn't want to cut it out because it might have been of use, but unfortunately it's gonna be in our way. So we'll cut that out. Get everything ready, but I want to sit in this thing. So the seat position there was okay. It might be a little high, which kind of scares me because when we build these brackets, it's going to lift the seats even a little higher. I feel like my helmet is definitely going to hit this roll bar. So I'll have to go get some padding for that for sure. And I might not be able to put T-tops back on it. My head sticks out too far. Something to think about. But you still have to fabricate the brackets, so we still have a little bit of time. And since we're fabricating it, we can build it any way we need to, which means we can lower it, hopefully. We'll see how it goes. And right now we are working on the hood pins. Now we went ahead and we made some brackets, we welded them in, we drilled the holes, and really the last thing to do is to just mount these plates, keep it looking pretty. We have done a lot of work here. We do have the seat mounted, if you can see that, it is mounted. We have the seat belts run. We have the gauges in, but the problem is the gauges are not operational yet. So we've got the oil gauge already hooked up, but we need the temperature and we need the battery voltage. So let's get on that temperature gauge. Now in order to get the temperature gauge reading properly, we have to empty out our radiator. And we're gonna need a towel. We're gonna go ahead and cut this hose open. We're going to install this. Now this is going to allow us to use the aftermarket gauge, which is right here. And that's going to be a perfect spot for that rather than drilling or tapping right into the block. We are on our way to pick up the wheels for the race car. We have a full set on the car just to warm up with, and another extra 2 that aren't holding air, but I think I can burn them off before they run out. So let's get to the store and get some tires on these. Well, that's what I get for waiting. They didn't have any 16-inch tires. Really, this race is just mostly just to test it out, test the car, make sure everything I've done is good. So we've at least got tires, so that's out of the way, and one step closer. So I know I haven't been filming much, but it's mostly because I've just been doing so much work. I really wanted to focus on the work and make sure I wasn't doing anything wrong. But anyway, we are finally here. We've got those wheels on, we've nut and bolted the whole front end and made sure everything is up to par. And we're ready to put this thing down under its own weight. We're gonna get rid of the jack stands, we're gonna start jacking it up, put it down on its own wheels, and this will be the first time in over 2 years that it's really been fixed under its own power. So let's go ahead and put this thing down and see how it sits. Look how aggressive that thing looks with the camber. I need to pull some camber out of it though. Look at this. She's out in the daylight. Yeah.